So I'm here at Tillery Combat in Blaenau, ahead of Cage Warriors 100 in Cardiff at the Ice Arena, Wales, being billed as the biggest Cage Warriors event in the history of the franchise. And it's going to be a huge night in Cardiff and a big night for Welsh MMA, headed up by Jack Shaw, who is fighting for the World Bantamweight title, a potentially huge moment for the sport in South Wales. We've been spending a bit of time here at the Academy in Blaenau, speaking to fighters who are hoping to achieve big things at the Ice Arena, Wales this weekend. So we're here just days ahead of Cage Warriors 100 at the Ice Arena, Wales in Cardiff, a huge event for mixed martial arts and a huge night for South Wales, particularly for Mr. Jack Shaw. I'm with Jack now ahead of his World Bantamweight title fight against Mike Akindeo. Jack, how are you feeling? What a fight ahead for you.
Yeah, feeling great. I've had a great training camp, great preparation, everything's gone to as best as I could have hoped for, and I'm just looking forward now to getting in this Saturday and put on a show and bringing our belt back to Wales. You
must be excited to get in the ring for this title fight. You've obviously had two world title opponents drop out, one at particularly short notice. Has that been frustrating, or has it just made you more hungry for this Saturday?
It was frustrating in the lead up to the last fight, but obviously for this one, you know, I'm pretty confident Mike's going to be there Saturday night, so my head's completely on facing him. I know he's going to be there and pose a tough test, but all I'm focusing on at the minute is getting that win, getting that belt. You know, it's all I'm thinking about every minute of every day.
This is widely being billed as the biggest Cage Warriors event in the franchise's history, and you're the headline. That must be a really nice feeling and something that's exciting for the sport here in Wales.
Yeah, it's big for me and for my gym, but for, like you said, for Welsh MMA as well. It's to headline what's their biggest ever card is a privilege for me, but it's something I've earned as well. And obviously, in years to come, when people look back on this Cage Warriors 100 event, no one will ever be able to take away from me that I was the main event, regardless of the result. But we're going to get our perfect result to go with the perfect scenario as well. You know, get our world title.
Fingers crossed we bring the belt back home here. Looking at that last fight, obviously you had that late change of opponent, but you got that first round knockout. And what I really sensed was that your fan base in Wales is growing and getting more passionate. 80% of tickets already gone for Saturday and more selling at the moment. How does that fan base help influence you in the cage?
It's massive. Obviously, every time you fight, it'd be great to fight at home every time. So, but I don't always get to do it. So when I fight at home in Wales, it's massive. And the ovation I had last time at Cage Warriors 97 was massive. You know, I sold hundreds and hundreds of tickets, and obviously there's people there to watch me who didn't buy tickets off me. So I just think this next one's going to be twice the atmosphere of the last one, and the last one was something special. So I can't wait to just take all the iron on the walkout and take it all in when I'm fighting. And it does spur you on when you're in there. You know, you get those moments when you're tired and, you know, you might be chasing the fight a little bit, the crowd gets behind you, it really does perk you up.
I make it 8 finishes from 9 fights. You like getting it done inside the distance. Do you want to get it done inside the distance this Saturday? Is that what you're predicting is going to happen?
Every time, you know, I always come to put on a good show for the people, whether it goes a distance or I get the finish. Obviously, I'm an exciting fighter, so I hunt that finish. But if I got to go the 5-minute rounds, I'm prepared to do that as well. But I'm predicting a finish for this fight, whether it be a submission or a knockout. But I predict I'll get him out there within the 5 rounds.
It's 2 unbeaten records as well, which always adds a little bit of spice to any fight of any description. How do you feel with 2 unbeaten records going on the line?
You know, it just ups our stakes. You know, the title fight raises the stakes, but the fact both of us have never lost, someone's always got to go. That's the saying. And Saturday night, I'm going to make sure it's not mine that goes. You
get asked this question a lot, and I sometimes feel it disrespects Cage Warriors asking it, and I certainly don't want to do that. But if you win the title on Saturday, where do you see your future? Is it defending that bantamweight belt, or would there be interest in UFC as well?
To be honest, I'd like to defend it a couple of times. I signed a 5-fight deal with Cage Warriors in the summer. This will be the second fight of the 5 on the contract. I'd like to see out my contract, you know, defend the belt a couple of times, and just keep growing and keep getting that experience in. You know, outside UFC, Cage Warriors is the place to be in Europe. And when the UFC do come, I know I'll be ready. And when I do sign eventually, I want to be one of them guys that stays in there, competes. You know, top 10, top 5 guys. I don't want to be one of those to go in there, you know, lose a couple of fights, come back and got to start again. So when I go, I want to make sure I'm ready to go. And by staying with Cage Warriors, getting this experience, getting these tough fights, that's just going to push me further on in the right direction. And finally, Jack, you must be delighted with the growth of MMA in this part of the world, the excitement there is for Saturday in Cardiff. Where do you see the sport at the moment in terms of its status, and will that continue to grow, do you think, in Cardiff and beyond? You know, the sport is definitely a lot bigger now than what I was, say, 2-3 years ago, ever since a couple of the boys got in the UFC. I'd like to see it progress a little bit further. You know, it's not 100% where it needs to be. There's still some things that can be improved on, and not just from the sport, but from people from the outside looking in as well. It still gets portrayed in a bad light sometimes, and it doesn't deserve that. You know, it's truly one of the most difficult and skillful sports in the world. So, but we're going in the right direction, and in a couple of years' time, I think you're going to see, you know, MMA in the Olympics, MMA in the Commonwealth Games, and obviously it being a mainstream sport, as you know, not just something that that's not so out there as, you know, your rugby football. I think 5-10 years time it's going to be the main sport in Wales. I can honestly see it going on that route, because the way it's growing in Wales at the minute is just catapulted, and it's only going to go up and up and up. The quality of guys coming through is just going to keep pushing that.
Well, Jack, good luck for Saturday from all at Radio Cardiff. Let's bring that belt home to South East Wales. Enjoy the event as well.
Yeah, thank you guys, I will, and like I say, it's coming home. There's no other way about it.
Awesome, thank you.
No problem.